Legit's premier transmission for gaming and real talk. We are your host, Corey, Elijah, and KJ, and we are back with another epic transmission. What's going on, KJ?
Yo, how you doing?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. What's going on in the news today, man?
Let me tell you something. It's the Mission 3 Hot 3. And what's happening first, Fear Effect is getting reimagined and it's scheduled to release in 2018 on PS4, no Switch as well. And I got it right here. Fear not. The original fixed camera angles will remain in place. Brand new high definition visuals. Two. This is the old game here. So I think if you're going to remaster, it's not like it's a new game. You know, this game is like since 2000, so I think that's all right. I think we can get away with that. It's coming out on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC in 2018.
Nice.
Final Fantasy 15 is coming to Windows, y'all. I know you guys have been waiting on that, playing it. Now you get to enjoy it with crispier visuals. It's coming to the world of PC, so stay tuned. That is also happening in 2018. Teasing a big time reveal. We don't know what it is yet, but you could see some type of box shaped in a red cloth. What is it? Is it a PlayStation Super Pro? And that's the Mission 3 Hot 3, man.
Is it this PlayStation Super Pro, this PlayStation Pro? I mean, what is it gonna be? Who knows? Hopefully, we find out soon. But Gamescom is going on all week, so we should figure that out. And speaking of that, Gamescom is what this show is about to be about this week. Yes, we're talking mainly Gamescom, ladies and gentlemen. It should be nice. Mission 1, we're going to be talking about EA's Gamescom event. Mission 2 is going to be Best Game Trilogy, hand selected by you guys out there, the agents. And then Mission 3 is going to be the Xbox Gamescom presentation. So it should be a good show for you guys. But before we get into that, I want you guys to make sure you check out playlegit.net. That is the hub where everything goes down. You're going to find reviews, you're going to find news, you're going to find all that goodness on playlegit.net. Right now, you can find a super good Sonic Mania review by our good friend KJ here. He put in that work since the release, and he has been enjoying it. So check out his score. See what he thinks about Sonic Mania. Also, we have a Hellblade review by our good friend Wes and a Nidhogg 2 review by our good friend Haggy. Make sure you stop by the site. You check all that out. I've also been posting news on the site as well, so make sure you stop by for the updates of what's been going on in the gaming world as well. We get a glimpse at the new Darth Maul Starfighter and Star Wars Battlefront 2, which we will be getting more into in our first mission. As well as a bunch of other cool stuff that's up on the site. So make sure you check out playlegit.net, as well as follow us on Twitter at playlegit, at Mission 3 Podcast, and give us a like on Facebook as well. Play Legit on Facebook. Over 8.5k likes, which is super cool. Let's get those numbers growing a little bit higher. Other than that, man, how are you feeling? You ready to get into tonight's missions, KJ?
Yeah, I just want to throw something at you real quick. I know we had a lot going on. You know, there's Game of Thrones and eclipses and whatnot, but I want to let y'all know I don't think there's been enough recognition aimed at the defenders.
Woo!
Anything, I'm not here to snitch, but I'm here to let you know that that show is hot. And if you appreciate anything Marvel and you appreciate anything real, defenders, it is action packed. There is nice chemistry between the cast. I highly recommend it. After this show, get to streaming.
Yes, sir. I'm on episode 5 now. We were talking about it earlier. I had only watched the first episode, so I made sure I got in a few episodes, and it is really good. It starts off a little slow in the beginning of the first episode, but it definitely makes up for it. All of the groundwork that was laid in that first episode had to happen. So make sure you check it out. It is dope. We don't get paid by Disney or Marvel or Netflix or anybody to say that.
No.
We just genuinely like this stuff. So Make sure you check that
No.
out as well. But if you're ready, KJ, we can go ahead and get on into the first mission here, man. We're going to be talking about Gamescom 2017. We're going to be talking about EA and what they showed off and their presentation, how we feel about it, the ups, the downs, the goods, the bad, the in-betweens. Let's go ahead. If you are ready, mission will start now. So EA, man, they showed off, some stuff we seen, some stuff we hadn't seen. Most of it we saw. I kind of expected EA to come with, what they typically come with. I wasn't expecting really to see anything new. We did get to see a new release, and they were calling it sounded like they were calling it Fear, but the game is spelled F-E, so I don't know if it's because they had an accent or whatever it may be. But that it looked interesting, and they announced they even enunciated at the end, like, yes, and it's also going to be for the Switch. So the Switch has this cool dynamic where it's like we're even putting this game that you would think you can only play on a heavy duty console like the PS4 or an Xbox One, but we're even porting it over to the Switch. So the Switch is getting a lot of specific love with the portability of it, and that's what they mentioned, because the Fee game, or the Fear, however it's really pronounced, excuse me if you guys are gonna get mad at me because they said Fear even though it says F-E. It looks cool. It has a really cool art style. It's about sound. It's about going through the forest. Actually, here, while I talk about this, let me see if I can find some gameplay of this in this trailer that I have up here. But it's an original game. It looks cool. It's a different type of game. You use your sound to actually fend off different beasts, or the silent ones that they were talking about in the game. So it's new. It's original. I'm glad to see that EA hasn't given up on new IPs at all as well. But it's interesting. I look forward to seeing more about this game, honestly.
Now, there's a game that was supposed to be something that people look forward to. No, not even kind of. It definitely let people down. And I'm talking about Mass Effect Andromeda. Apparently, it was announced today that they will no longer provide updates to the single player portion of the game. The mode that needed the most maintenance. And I bet you they had a slew of season pass, post content plan, and I bet you they scrapped it all to provide help with the multiplayer. But the single player, I can't believe that announcement. What do you think about that?
I think that's absolutely horrendous because it's Mass Effect. Like, what do you mean no more single player support? It's Mass Effect.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I read that today, and the way that they worded it was just like so, like, yes. I'm like, no, what are you doing?
Like they just couldn't wait to get that off. Like, hey man, we know what you guys think. We got you. No more single player support. Like, what? That's not. No one asked for that. We wanted the game in general to be
we're
better.
going to get space from EA. It's going to have to be Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Yeah,
it's like, at least in that area, they're listening to fans. What do you think, man?
Yo, no, definitely. And I was super excited earlier today. I posted some news. I posted that quick article about Battlefront 2 and the Starfighter Assault and the upgrades to it and how good it looked. So when I went back and I actually caught the actual gameplay, because they gave us a decent amount of gameplay here, which was really nice to see. This was really what they opened the show up, and they really spent a good amount of time on this to really show people, like, hey, I know we disappointed you in the past. I know we tricked you into spending all this money on these season passes and stuff for BS content. An extra gun, a one-hit kill gun. We got you though. We use that money we finessed you, but we used the money to re-up and come with some better product for you guys. So now the StarCraft Assault, it's better, and I mean I think it looks like it's gonna be actual fun, especially I know that they have to be playing this on a Xbox One X. Just because it looks so good. If they're not playing this on a freaking PC, it looks amazing. The fluidity of the controls, it looks like it's gonna really control really well as well. So I mean, I look forward to it. I mean, they got Darth Maul's stealth ship where you can literally go, turn invisible if people are on your tail. I mean, they got the Millennium Falcon. Of course, everybody wants to pilot the Millennium Falcon. You got Poe Dameron's X-Wing. I mean, Yoda's in it. So, I mean, you get Yoda piloting a spacecraft. I mean, it looks fun. It looks amazing. When you think Star Wars, you think space battles. And they bring it with this one. It looks fantastic.
The graphics, dude, look so good.
Yeah, and then even like the waves, that there's 3 different waves, so you have to do these Star Wars X missions where you actually have to disable shields, things like this, while you have all of these X-Wings and these TIE fighters and stuff on your tail. So it looks like it's going to be really, really fun. The beta for that opens, I believe, next month. I have to double check on that, but it should be fun. We'll be able to check that out. It'll be an open beta for 3 days.
One that I know you're looking forward to even more than that. It's coming to consoles. You'll be able to get a cats and dogs expansion pack.
Wait, I'm sorry, you cut out a little bit. You're talking about The Sims?
Yeah, I was just saying I know you're looking forward to that the most out of what you saw today.
I mean that is the game that's gonna get me back in love with EA, man. I mean The Sims. I mean, here, let me be real for a second. I am a fan of The Sims. I like playing The Sims on a computer just because, I mean, with the expansions, things like that, it's great. It's never really the same when they port them over to console. So to me, that news, it's like, okay, cool, you're porting it over to console. You always port it over to console, but it's not going to be anywhere near as good as it would be on PC. On PC, they're at least giving us the cats and dogs, the expansion pack. On console, you won't even have that. So, and then they also announced there's going to be a mobile version of it as well. So, EA's doing what they do. They want you to buy. I mean, if you think about it, The Sims is the perfect game for EA because it's literally all DLC. Literally, buy these T-shirts, I got you. You want to look like Ozzy Osbourne, $25. I got you. So, you want cats and dogs? Throw us $30 and we'll expand it for you. You want to go to the nightclub in The Sims? We got you. So, I mean, like I said, I do like games like that just because I'm a strategy type guy. I like simulators, things like that. I don't know why. It's just kind of my personality type. I'm into stuff like that. So I mean,
luxury cars though.
Right. So I mean, it's fun, but I'm not gonna spend all my money in it. And to me, this is just another finesse move. EA seems to be really good at finessing. I know we kind of bash them, but we have to give them credit. Their finesse game is top notch. It's almost like they're from the streets or something. It's crazy.
Well, you mentioned streets. I got one. That's the king of street racing.
Woo!
Payback. They announced that the brand new BMW 2008 is coming to the game.
That M5.
That M5. And it's going to be one of the highlight cars that you can get in Need for Speed Payback. It would be that Need for Speed Payback, because I feel like from what I've seen from the videos, it looks like they're getting back on track. That was a pun. I didn't mean to do that, but that was a pun. I'm sorry.
Looks like you're getting back on track, Need for Speed.
and Star Wars Battlefront 2. Those are like the highlight games I saw that are at least coming out this year.
Not FIFA.
I believe it's called A Way Out. Is the game with the two prisoners where you're playing in co-op always?
Mm-hmm.
Or of that. That looks really cool to me. I know that's not coming out this year, but A Way Out, that game.
Yeah. Yeah. Overall, how do you think about EA?
It's just E3 reloaded. It was no. You didn't miss anything. If you didn't see anything, you didn't miss anything.
That's right. That is right.
Well, and that's not a knock. It's more like new. You know what I mean? Like, because what they showed was cool, but it was cool. I saw it the first time, you know. So that's what I'm coming from.
Right. And I will say this: they mentioned one thing in their opening statement, and what they mentioned was how they've been working with players and the developers to bring forth the competitive playing style that people want, right? With the titles that they love and enjoy, and all I want to say is where the hell is Skate 4, EA? Where the hell is Skate 4? You thought I was going to just go through an EA presentation and not bring this up. Where's it at?
Dreadlock.
Where is it at? You're going to make me let the dreads out. But yeah, before I fully transform, let's go ahead and get into the second mission, man. Let's get into that agent's requested mission for tonight, and that is going to be the best game trilogies. Now, I mean, this is gonna be an opinion piece again. Just know that, I mean, we can't really say we know exactly what the best game trilogies are, but in our opinion, these titles are going to be the best game trilogies. So if you would like, KJ, I'll let you kick this one off and I'll jump in, and we'll get on into this. Mission starts now.
You say now? I didn't hear you.
No, yeah, I said now.
Hey, so I'm looking at my Discord line right now. T42 says Diablo is a decent trilogy. Warcraft for sure. So T42 and Uriah both agreed on that. That the original Warcraft trilogy and also Halo 1 through 3 is good. Now, me personally, I would have liked a more impactful ending. But as a whole, though, I really can't complain too much with the original Halo trilogy. Also said the Dragon Ball Z Budokai trilogy.
Yep. Yeah, I see Uriah did drop that. That when I saw that in there, I was like, yeah, that's actually, can't believe I didn't think about that one, because they only got better as you got more into them as well. By the time we got to Budokai 3, it was over. So yeah, I agree with that too.
Yeah, and another thing I like, because Budokai really was like the first game I remember, like, this is a Dragon Ball Z game that's playable. Like, it doesn't suck.
Right.
Cool. Like, I was more happy about that than the fact that it was pretty fun, you know. I was like, all right, you know.
Yeah, and it was competitive. Yeah, definitely overall great games.
And I'm also, what I like too is I've been a big Metroid Prime fan. The Metroid Prime trilogy. The second one is still my favorite because I really enjoyed that multi. That's the only one that had it. Are very, very solid. Have really good level design. Very challenging. Prime 4 has a lot to live up to. It's going to be the best, quite frankly, because they are that good. Resident Evil trilogy. Some people didn't like the new camera controls in 4. I can't take that next trilogy because after 4, like 5 was okay, but then 6, yeah. So I can't really, the first trilogy of that was very good. You play that with the lights off back in the day. Scary thing.
Yeah.
Especially if you had headphones on, if lights out. Oh my goodness. Final Fight series. I enjoyed Final Fight beat 'em ups. I don't like 2 as much, but I still find it enjoyable just because 2 didn't have Guy in it. I don't know why you make a Final Fight without Guy, but they brought back Guy in Final Fight 3. Saw a beat 'em up series. And another one I want to talk about is, I'm sorry, Corey, I'm rolling, man. I
No,
apologize.
no, it's all right, man.
But my next one is the Uncharted series.
Mm.
They both open with awesome segments, really good storytelling, and just made perfectly for movies. Obviously, we're doing that now. I don't like that we're starting off so young, but that's another topic for another day.
Mm.
The reason why they're even making movies is because the stories are so good. Now, I also want to say this. I can't go without talking about my Kratos.
That's right.
God of War. That first trilogy, man. You got to make sure to play that and experience it. I don't think there's really a bad God of War game out there. You know, some I might like more than others, but to just come out and say a bad God of War game, that doesn't exist. So definitely that. This year, I got it. Max Payne was an awesome trilogy from a storytelling perspective. You see, it's kind of tragic what happened to Max Payne, but you slowly in each game see decline as a human being, slowly caring less about humanity, to the point where he stopped being a police officer, a guard for an evil crime lord. He's out in Brazil. I mean, it sucks what happened to the character, but in terms of the video game, the way that they told the story, Max Payne 3 is off the hook. I just bought that again for $5 yesterday at the used game store, so I'm going to be jumping right back in.
That $5 holla, man. That's a plug for $5 as well. It's a classic. Let's not forget Devil May Cry as well. Definitely a nice trilogy there. But then I also want to shine some light on some some more old school flavor. Let's bring it back to Sonic the Hedgehog. First 3 Sonic games, I have to say, that's a classic trilogy. Honestly, those are the 3 games that I feel should be in every avid gamer's collection, just because that's the pinnacle of platformers, one of the pinnacles of platformers in my opinion. Also, that has to be paired with the Super Mario Bros. Trilogy as well. Super Mario Brothers 1, 2, and 3. It doesn't get any more classic than that when it comes to a trilogy. The Super Mario Bros. If it wasn't for them, gaming would probably not be in the state where it is. It really got gaming into a mainstream kind of light. Definitely helped develop into different shows, things like that. But even got light in movies. There's the Wizard the Wizard. It has Super Mario 3 in it, part of the the main storyline, and that was the hidden secret game at the end. Just because those games, they were so competitive, so good, and there were so many secrets behind them too that kind of get brought throughout time. Different people do speed runs of it and highlight a lot of those different features and stuff like that as well. So definitely classic, fun games that I thoroughly enjoy that you could still play today. Not only were they solid games in the time that they were released, but they also stand the test of time, which is one of those things that is really, really cool. And they don't even really have a storyline at all. The Super Mario Bros., they kind of have a storyline. You have to save the princess, whatever, but it's not like a super in-depth cinematic storyline, but it still keeps you intrigued. It keeps you engaged in the titles. Also, and now
the Skate trilogy, Corey, that's a good one.
Yes, the Skate trilogy. Thank you, KJ. Now, the Skate trilogy. Yeah, now you really want Dreadlock to come out. Freaking EA, why didn't you show no freaking highlights, no Skate 4? But we have Skate 1, 2, and 3. Skate 1, honestly, it broke the mold. It showed Tony Hawk like, hey, you guys are doing it all wrong. I can't even say that Tony Hawk 1, 2, and 3 is the best even skateboard trilogy, let alone game trilogy with Skate 1, 2, and 3 in existence. These games are fun. It has a cult following. I being one of the the more obsessed skate fans out here, just because I'm trying to bring competitive skate to the forefront here, but you have to give me a game so we can actually get that going there. But trust me, if it ever happens, I will champion that title, unless it is hot trash and it would be developed by EA. So there's always a possibility. Mass Effect Andromeda, but it is what it is.
Right.
Skate. It's a classic title. All three of them. It's a classic trilogy. It gets better with every one. They add more. By Skate 3, you could become a skate mogul, selling boards and all that cool stuff. So it was definitely dope. But I also want to say, before I turn into Dreadlock, Batman Arkham, the Arkham series, is a great trilogy. And it's cool because it's gonna stay a trilogy. Unless they for some reason they go back and they make another one after they said they're not going to. But they literally perfected the trilogy here, just like the Dark Knight, the Arkham Knight trilogy is a classic Batman trilogy, with all of the characters that you love to see. The gameplay that you love. Open world Batman. Come on, man. It's super fun. So that itself is, that top 5 trilogy ever, maybe.
Yeah, man.
Just because, those.
Yeah, though. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Just because I might not like some of the story direction that they went with in the last one, that it's still oozing with quality, man. Honestly, I really, someone to tell me that they don't like those games as a whole, like, I don't feel you. I just don't, because there's just so much quality, so much great voice acting in it. The combat system is one of the deepest combat systems. It's in my top 3 systems that I've ever experienced. And the fact that it was happening to Batman when I come from a time where the definition of garbage. So yeah, that was a trilogy, man. And T42 just said Gears of War, and yes, that was hot too. So I had to get that in.
Yeah, for sure. Woo. Well, the agent's requested mission. I think we passed that just in the nick of time. That was a good one. That was actually a really good one. I didn't know how that was gonna go when it got selected, but yeah, I think that went really well. There's a lot of trilogies, and I think we could have kept going if we would have kept digging. So
yeah, because like as you're talking, the Discord line is blowing up, the YouTube comment box is blowing up. So we appreciate all you guys getting interactive with it. So appreciate all y'all, man.
Yeah, most definitely. Much love to everybody in the chat, everybody in the Discord. That is the fam. We got you guys. So let's go ahead. Let's move into the third and final mission, Mission 3. And this one is going to be a fun one. So you guys in the chat, you guys on the Discord line as well, make sure you chime in with this one. Also, if you're listening to this and you're on Twitter, hit us up on our Twitter lines as well. We get notifications, so we'll check that stuff out for you guys as well. That's at PlayLegit or at Corey Elijah or at Mission 3 podcast on Twitter to tweet us any responses as well. But this third mission, we're going to be talking about Xbox, the Microsoft Gamescom presentation for 2017. This should be fun, just because, well, Microsoft, we know you have a updated system coming out, but what else you got going on? So let's go ahead and get on into the third and final mission. Mission starts now.
And the Project Scorpio Edition Xbox apparently is already sold out on Amazon. That's no surprise to me, but at the same time, did they really have a whole lot of copies? They might have just been doing what Nintendo always does, and then they can say that people are selling them, they're buying out the store.
because we
But
had
I
two
mean,
in
I'm sure they're
stock.
still doing well because it's a new system. But
Mm.
two in stock, right? And that I wish that they wouldn't do is interesting because they have the Xbox One X and they also have an S. Okay, so there's Xbox One X and Xbox One S.
Mm-hmm.
For us and everybody watching here, we know the difference. But mom getting ready to buy the console for her kid, and she's looking at them, and it's like, which one am I getting? Like, which one's the more powerful one? All you know. So that's the kind of thing I wish they would make that separate a little bit more. The Xbox One S, there's a Minecraft console that I saw. Now I'm not the biggest Minecraft fan, but the way the console looks and the way the controller looks is really rad, man.
Yeah,
I recommend you guys, yeah, just checking it out, just see what, like, you may or may not like it, but just appreciate what's going on with the design. Like that's pretty funky. That's a funky looking system, man.
No, you're right. I saw it and I was like, oh wow, that actually looks pretty cool. I'm not a big Minecraft guy, but it actually does look pretty cool. And then also, what do you think about that bundle price tag for the One X and then the Pro controller with it? I believe if I'm trying to double check right now, but I believe it was $700. It was like $600 for the bundle.
Nah, no, thank you.
Let me just double.
At that point, you just get a piece of.
Yeah. That's. I was looking at it, I was like, man, that is kind of expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as I.
Won't buy it though.
Yeah, I mean, if they have more than two in stock, people bought them. So, I mean, it is what it is. I thought it was pretty steep. So we're looking at that Minecraft bundle is $400. The Elite bundle on GameStop is going for $800 for a One X Elite controller bundle. $799.
Did you see the trade-ins? They said if you trade in your Xbox One towards an Xbox One X, GameStop will graciously give you guys
$50.
I said what? $150.
Oh snap! Oh, okay. They put an extra 100.
That's
on
it.
Ooh, traded in
Yeah,
for 150, so we could throw it in the dumpster.
Yeah.
Oh man. So yeah. Other than that, though, the Xbox One X, they showed off some other stuff. We get to see a look at the new Assassin's Creed, which looks pretty cool. I like the trailer that they showed for Assassin's Creed, just because it gives you a little bit more insight on the game. I like that it's based in Egypt. It's gonna have that clash between the Romans and Egypt, so it's a nice history lesson that they're giving you there. And then we also have we got a brown assassin, so it's nice to see that they're kind of they're trying to get a little cultured out here in the video game world. Although 2017 has been a huge year for black main characters or whatnot, so which is kind of cool. But that was definitely cool, and the thing that really stuck out for me is the Player Unknown Battlegrounds. Seeing that being ported over to the Xbox, and them also saying that they're actually partnering up with Microsoft so they can kind of fast track the game's release when it comes out towards the end of the year. So I'm excited to play that. I actually haven't played it, but I have I've watched tons of gameplay on it, things like that. So I'm excited to actually be able to get it on a console so I can get my hands on it. That is, if they're going to have an Xbox One X in stock when I go to pick one up this holiday season.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, man. But I saw too that they announced like several games are getting like the nice 4K updates added to them, like Rise of the Tomb Raider is
Mm-hmm.
getting it. I thought it was getting a decent size update as well.
Mm-hmm.
And for every core, it's going to be free. Also, wasn't the most critically acclaimed title either. All this time that they're putting into it, which I wish I would have put this effort into it, but anyway, hopefully this effort that they're putting into Recore will shine through when it comes out again this fall. So,
Right, and then Cuphead, that's coming out
Cuphead,
September 29th, which is
yeah,
gonna a lot of people have been waiting for that.
that sites to report Cuphead. Okay, a little review, now a little write up about it in 2014, folks. This isn't new to anybody on Play Legit. For this for a long time, so the graphical style is just incredible, and I really want that game to do well for everybody involved because I know the work that they put into it. I'm looking forward to that. But the other game, big time, that I'm looking forward to is Sea of Thieves. With every update that comes out about the game, I just get more and more excited about it.
Yeah, it does. That is one of the titles that I'm definitely looking forward to as well. That and Cuphead are probably the biggest titles other than PlayerUnknown's Battleground for me. Just because of they're kind of new adventures. Cuphead, they even have a multiplayer. Sea of Thieves, it's looking like it's going to be multiplayer as well, but it's not just that it's multiplayer. Why it looks like it's cool. You actually get to go on ships, travel the seas, go hunt for treasure, stuff like that. So it looks like it's just going to be a fun game that you can just hop on a server, play with randoms or play with your friends and have a good time, play different ways, things like that. So, and then Cuphead,
crossplay.
Yeah, exactly. With PC and everything as well. Cuphead,
yeah,
man, that's looking. It's the co-op on Cuphead. It looks fun. It's bringing it back to that retro co-op days back into on the SNES, or even even on an arcade cabinet. Sunset Riders, things like that. Giving you that feel. And apparently they hand drew all of the characters, and the backdrops are all like hand done watercolor paintings. So they put a lot of time in Cuphead. I think it's gonna look great, especially if you play this on the Xbox One X, with the 4K resolution, with the graphics just popping in the background and all of the layers just laid down there within that high resolution. I think it's gonna look great. It's gonna be a fun game. It's gonna, just the way the cartoons are drawn on it. I just love it, man. It's one of those classics that you're gonna want to have for the collection,
Yeah, and then if anybody that's Halo Wars 2, that's going to be coming out as the Flood. So for anybody that enjoyed the Flood, I'm not one of them, but for those who like shooting the Flood, you'll be able to do that now. So
you got that. So overall, what do you think about Xbox's presentation in the last few seconds we got here?
Yeah, it was a little bit better than EA's because EA's was just strictly stuff minus that fear thing that we've seen already.
Right.
The player unknown is a big announcement. They need to people understand the difference between the Xbox One S and the Xbox One X. They need to make that clear so they can. I'm trying to get y'all paid.
Right.
That's it.
Right. Gonna have to do a little better than just a different letter to get people to. Well, what's the difference between the S and then the X? And then the S is like $300 cheaper, so I should probably just get Billy the S. It looks smaller. It says it's just as fast. Although it's not just people. I mean, also, people don't know what teraflops are. I'll just, we just have to be real with that. People do not know what a teraflop is. So when you tell people there's like all these teraflops, they're like, okay, so what's that do? What's a teraflop? People are people are still out here with 16 gig phones, man. So I mean, and there's no shots at anybody if they have 16. I recently had a 16 gig phone. All I'm saying is people are slowly starting to learn that that is not enough space. So teraflops, people don't know what it is. We know about gigabytes out here. Some people know about terabytes. So yeah, but I think this was fun. We want to know what you guys thought about Gamescom. It's going to be going on until Saturday, so there's going to be tons more to talk about. I'm sure next week we'll get into what happens with Sony and the mystery box and all of that good stuff as well. So make sure you hit us up. You let us know what you guys thought about tonight's broadcast. KJ, do you have any more to add before we go ahead with the outro?
Well, if I'm a mom shopping for Billy and I have to decide between 3 or 4 different systems, and I see a Nintendo Switch over here, and the word is out, because I thought it was strange that they released it when they did, but the word is out now because of when they released it. So, and the marketing on that is made clear. So though it's not nearly as powerful as these other systems, she knows what she's getting Billy with a Switch. So I'm just trying to help you out, Sony and Microsoft. Whatever you're going to reveal, when you drop that red cloth, it better be hot and it better be clear what it is. And Microsoft, an X and an S sound super similar. So that's just what it is. I don't know who thought of that?
He said it. He just kept it real. He said, I just want you to know that an X and an S sounds almost the same.
It really does.
We can see the difference on paper, but it sounds the same.
And we know what it is, and everybody watching knows what it is because they're all gamers and all real. But can you understand somebody who doesn't do it like we do it, walking into a store?
Billy's about to be mad on Christmas. He's going to be like, Mom, I told you the Xbox One X, not the Xbox One S. She's like, oh, I thought you said the S, Billy. I thought S stood for special. It's going to be all over. Billy's Christmas is going to be ruined. All because... Why didn't they just call it the Project Scorpio? I don't
know, man.
They have a Project Scorpio edition Xbox One X. But they didn't just call it the Project Scorpio. They should have just called it Project Scorpio so you could differentiate the systems. But now, I mean...
That name is cool.
I know. Xbox.
Y'all have a good night.
Come on, Microsoft. Yeah, but we definitely appreciate everybody that tuned in for stopping by and hanging out with us. Everybody in the Discord chat, everybody on the YouTube chat, everybody on the social media platforms that tweets at us, votes in the polls, all that good stuff. We definitely appreciate you. Make sure you follow us on Twitter so you can vote in our weekly poll for the second mission. That is the agent's requested mission. Every week we put up a poll. You get to select what our mission is going to be. You wanted us to talk about the best trilogies. That's what we talked about. So you always have that shot to help influence the show. So make sure you follow us at Mission 3 Podcast on Twitter. Again, that's Mission 3 Podcast on Twitter. You can also find me at Corey Elijah on Twitter. You can find KJ at PlayLegit. Hit us up. Let us know what you guys think of the show. Any ideas, any mission requests, anything like that. Any news, any hot stuff, or maybe you even have an idea for the site. Let us know. Let us know what you think. We're cool guys. We definitely are always out there to work with everybody out there as well. So hit us up. Let us know what you think. Also, make sure you stop by playlegit.net because that's the hub. That's where you're going to find all of the news. You're going to find the reviews. You're going to find the Mission 3 podcast. You see us live here on Mondays, but every Friday afternoon you can catch the restream on our playlegit.net page as well as on SoundCloud, so follow us there as well. But it's easier to just go to playlegit.net. You can find links for everything there. That's where everything is aggregated to find all of our amazing content by all of our amazing content creators, writers, editors, all that good stuff. So, again, thank you so much for stopping by tonight. We appreciate everybody that tunes in. Make sure you give our Facebook page a thumbs up. Give us a like if you can. We're trying to get past that 8.5K. Let's get us to 25K, guys. Is that a good goal? I think that's what we'll set the goal for. Anyways, until next week, we definitely appreciate you all stopping in. And until next time, I'm your good friend Corey Elijah. I'm here with my co-host KJ. And it's been real. Stay legit.
Holla.